Welcome to GolfCask Original Series, What the Hell is GolfCask?
Welcome GolfCask Nation, this is Brian Bailey here bringing you the origin story. Where did GolfCask come from? What the heck is it? All that great stuff. But before we talk about any great journey, any great adventure, we've got to start with a good whiskey, right? And right here I have Elijah Craig's Single Barrel. This is a barrel pick from my local ABC store, running at about 627 proof. But what I really like about this actual whiskey is it's got a lot of the caramels and the vanillas that I love in a bourbon. So cheers for that higher proof. Man, that is one smooth whiskey. All right, so let's talk about the origin story. Where did GolfCask come about? You know, how did I start this caper? Well, very simply, during COVID, wow, what a great story that starts with. I came to find out that ABC workers in the state of Virginia in the U.S. were essential employees. So we spent a lot of time indoors. I do a lot of work online. So my life didn't change a ton during COVID other than the tomfoolery that was going on around the world. But what we did is we started to discover cocktails. We started with bourbon cocktails, and then I slowly weeded my way out of the mixers and ended up becoming a huge bourbon fan. So I've been on this journey since the early, I guess to what is probably early 2020s, and now we're in 2024. So basically, when I discover something that kind of gets my brain going, I'm all in. You'll come to see this throughout everything we do inside of GolfCask. You'll see that there's no half stepping. It's all go or don't go, right? So I dove in both feet first, and during COVID and time after that, I was like, hey, why don't we come up with a podcast that mixes two of my three great passions in life: golf, whiskey, family. Well, I can't share my family. Even though my wife will participate in some tastings and things we do, really what this did is took my two passions of golf and whiskey and kind of combined them together. So I threw together a podcast, not really knowing what the heck I was doing. I was still learning. I was on my journey. I was learning about Irishes. So we have a couple different Irishes. I was talking about Scotches, bourbons, ryes, craft, legacy, unfinished bourbons. What is a bourbon? What is a whiskey? What is a Tennessee? All that information was new to me, and I was just reading, watching videos, just learning as much as I could. And as I started to kind of pull the pieces back, I started to see a lot of common trends between golf and whiskey. So my whiskey journey really started during COVID, and again, 4 or 5 years later, here we stand. My golf journey was completely different. When I was in college, I didn't really play golf until I went to college. My father gave me a set of clubs, said, you're in college. I used to play all these sports up till college. He said, you might find time for this. Well, needless to say, my first year of college, definitely my first semester wasn't Dean's List. So what I started to do is I had this huge gap of time that I was not used to having. So I put golf in when I would have afternoon practices in high school to kind of give me a little structure. So I started teaching myself the game of golf. Fell in love with it in college, and I continued to love it throughout. I became a high school teacher when I graduated from Virginia Tech. From there, I coached different sports, but I fell into the coaching job at Ocean Lakes High School to be an assistant golf coach, just so I could play free golf more than anything. And then I discovered that this is an actual profession. You can actually teach golf as a team event and not as a typical golf pro at a country club or whatever. So I started working with the high school team. Then I went to a Division III team. I was the assistant coach there. I kind of had the head coaching job for about 8 minutes, and they took it from me because they hired a new basketball coach and they wanted to give him the stipend. But from that, I was all in at that point. Now I need to figure out how to become a college golf coach. So I continued to work in the Division III program in Norfolk called Virginia Wesleyan College. I was there for a few years. I did that with the high school while I was teaching. Then I was fortunate enough to get a job at Lenore Ryan College, which was a NCAA Division II program. I was there for about 4 years, and then I got a new job at the University of Virginia as the assistant women's golf coach, and I was there for about 11 years. So I have close to 17, well, if you combine high school and everything, I pretty much have 20 years of of team coaching. And then after I stepped away from college golf about 8 years ago, I actually kept teaching juniors, collegians, and I actually got a handful of tour players that I work with. So I was doing that for a while, but I created a data science company with a friend of mine, Mark Sweeney, and we created this company called My Game Forge. From that, we created a video platform to support what we were doing at, so I had to start putting myself in front of video. So if I wasn't doing My Game Forge and I wasn't creating videos, GolfCask would have never happened. I was, kind of trudging my way through getting comfortable in front of a camera. All that was being built as I was just starting to enjoy whiskeys. So that's kind of how I took the plunge and said, hey, I don't mind sitting in front of a camera and talking. Here I am, right? Enjoy me in my glory. Anyways, so that is kind of, so GolfCask is a fusion again, or a great blend between whiskey and golf. So the really cool part about all this, I'm going to drop great golf knowledge. I'm going to have great golf guests. We'll have touring pros, we'll have caddies, we'll have teachers. We'll have a bunch of different individuals in the golf world showing you how to become a better golfer. That's awesome. But we're going to do the same thing in the whiskey side, right? We're going to bring in distillers, we're going to bring in enthusiasts, we're going to bring in very knowledgeable people about the whiskey world and give you that knowledge as well. Through my almost 30 years of golf coaching experience, I'm applying those same principles into GolfCask, into the whiskey side. I want to train you, get you better at being a whiskey enthusiast, whether it's how to taste better, be able to be able to be in front of a group and speak on whiskey, be in a tasting group, in a blind group, picking barrels, all this great stuff. I want to give you the tools to be able to go do this. Again, just to broaden and expand your ability as a whiskey connoisseur. And then the best part of all of it, because this is what I love to do, I'm getting old now. I'm closer now to death than I was. I'm in my 50s. My kids are getting older. My youngest son is a sophomore in high school right now. So, my kids are getting older. They're starting to launch into the world, creating their own paths. What I want to start doing in my last years is creating an experience. And this is what GolfCask is really going to be about. We've created a Greens and Grains Society where there'll be a monthly meetup here in the state of Virginia, hosted by me, as well as Gareth McShay, who is a friend of mine, who is actually diving into GolfCask with me as well. I converted him from a pure pint drinker in Ireland to a full-fledged whiskey nut. So he will be creating Greens and Grain in Dublin, Ireland. So we're going to have 2 chapters right out the gate running. We're also going to have a big idea of huge trips throughout the year. Probably 2 to 3 trips every year where we go to Ireland, we'll go to the States, and we're looking to bring Scotland and other countries involved with the whiskey creation as well, where we'll taste whiskey, play golf, and create memories. And again, that's what I'm looking for. Right now, at my age, I want to create experiences, I want to do things and enjoy the finer things in life. Golf and whiskey are high up there, and I want you to join us on these trips as well. So we are going to be a social group, but again, we're going to be bringing in distillers. We're going to be learning. We're going to be taking day trips to distilleries, play golf day trips. We're going to travel the world, golf, whiskey, all this great stuff. And that is what GolfCask is as of right now. But the one thing you will learn about me, I will parry, I will change. And you, as the masses inside of GolfCask, will really drive where we're going. So please give us feedback, give us exciting things that you think would add to the series, add to the experiences, and we will do our best to incorporate it. And I think the really cool part is you will start to see my coaching and also my data science knowledge starting to trickle in through GolfCask in 2024. We have a huge build going on right now. I don't really want to talk about it, but it's coming inside, hopefully be done by late spring. And then we have a secondary build that'll be done by summer. And we're really going to make golf and whiskey blend, and we're also going to elevate everyone's knowledge. And like I said, have experiences that, again, we can sit around and reminisce about. You remember the first GolfCask trip? Do you remember the Irons and Oak event in Virginia in 2023? Do you remember the great event in Scotland in 2025? So again, we're all about experiences. Everyone's invited. We'd love to have anybody that loves whiskey, loves golf. Now, your love doesn't have to be equal. I could love one more than the other, but hopefully what we can do is elevate whichever one you might not love as much and bring that up to where you are in your other passion. So thank you again. This is Brian Bailey. We love having you in GolfCask. Thank you so much for your time, for spending your time with us, as well as a little bit of money. We are raising money inside of GolfCask as well. You can see, to be a society member, it costs $99 a year, and that will help offset the insane amount of fees I have inside of time, website construction, and a lot of these projects that we're throwing up on the ground. So again, if you do become a premium member inside of GolfCask, that will unlock some extra videos, some extra benefits, but more so it just kind of supports where we're going. So if you do love golf and you do have a passion, please think of us that way. So again, thank you again for your time. Thank you again for all that you do inside of Golf and Whiskey, and I look forward to meeting you on the road. And again, have a pour. Cheers. Sláinte. That's some good stuff.